represent them to filmmaking internationally.
I'm Jade Bethel from UBTV here with Reese Chipman, MP for Pineville. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing very good. It's a very good night. It was a very good night. The weather's great, and it's good that University of the Bahamas is here. So it's good to see you as well.
So how do you feel is the importance of events like this happening in the Bahamas?
Well, you know, the events like this, the film festival, it's long overdue. We should have had events like this for a very long time now. I think it's important that film is a big part of education and awareness, and they give our children an opportunity to reflect on where our country has been and where it can go. And so I think it's a good opportunity to embrace filmmaking, film opportunities, not only from a national perspective, but also in terms of educating and making our people more aware of what's possible.
The festival has created a legacy of par excellence in presenting the Bahamas as a key filmmaking destination, and it has exposed the Bahamian culture to more than 1 million film professionals.
Have you met him yet? Cause I know we get good traveling. You wish me to die trying.
We are here with Mr. Michael K. Williams. Good evening, Mr. Williams. How are you?
Good evening. I'm fine. And yourself?
I'm great, sir. Now, how is the filmmaking business coming along? Are you enjoying your stay here in the Bahamas, and do you feel as if the Bahamian people have really acknowledged and are really appreciating your work?
First of all, I'm very grateful to be here at the Bahamas for the Bahamian International Film Festival. As far as Bahamian influence in the film industry, I would like to see more. There's so many beautiful stories that Bahamas is known for, that I know personally, that I think the world would enjoy. And I would like to see more of our stories told on the broader spectrum. But this film festival is a great start in the right direction of telling our stories, not just to have Bahamian actors, but Bahamian stories being told as well too.
It's a wrap here at the Bahamas International Film Festival. My name is Jay Bethel, signing out for UBTV.
So that wraps up this edition of UBTV News Magazine. I'm Andrea Darvel.
If you have any questions, comments, or story ideas, email us at ubtvradio@ub.edu.bs. I'm Laurencia Smith. Thanks for watching.
Happy New Year!
Panther, supporting the greatest expression of Bahamian culture. More than one flavor, still one family.
Happy birthday, Ariana. Happy birthday to you. What's this for?
I want me to say some cake for you.
Ever since you guys moved to the Family Islands, I have missed so many birthdays.
Yes, Mummy. We gotta thank BTC for bringing the internet to our community.
You're right, honey.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Grammy. Say bye, Grammy.
genius.
Wicked genius. Come enjoy KFC's delicious chicken, fries, drink, and biscuits starting at only $5 including VAT. KFC Nassau. It's finger-licking.
Now you can watch the ZNS network of channels absolutely free. That's right, ZNS is now broadcasting 3 separate channels free to air on Channel 13. One channel has the regular ZNS TV HD programming. One is the Parliamentary channel, and one is the 24/7 television community page. These channels may be accessed simply by attaching either a rabbit ears antenna or an indoor amplified antenna to the RF input connector on the back of your digital television or flat screen TV. Once the antenna is connected, select TV mode and choose Auto Scan, and your TV will automatically pick up Channel 13 at no charge. Once you're on Channel 13, just use the channel selector to go to each of the 3 ZNS free channels. Antennas are available on many sites online. Free TV, ZNS brings it back to you. You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up first at 6, no confidence. The opposition's parliamentary team keeping its promise to table a no confidence vote against the House Speaker. Second city success. The Prime Minister announcing major investments for the city of Freeport. New equipment received. The Immigration Department better equipped now to protect the country's borders.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC every day.
The majority of the current members of Parliament voting their confidence in the Speaker of the House of Assembly. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. Thanks for tuning in. We begin this Wednesday with news from Parliament as a resolution to vote no confidence in the Speaker of the House of Assembly passed less than an hour ago, with 26 yeas, 4 noes, 1 abstained, and 7 members were absent. Once the vote was done, the Speaker resumed the chair. Now, this all comes from the opposition's parliamentary team expressing no confidence in the Speaker of the House of Assembly. Opposition leader and the Member of Parliament for Cat Island, Rumkey and San Salvador, Philip Davis, held true to the promise today, moving that resolution against the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Halson Moultrie. He appealed to House members to condemn the actions of the Speaker for what was widely criticized as a personal attack on the opposition last week. Davis also cited what he described was the unlawful, capricious, arbitrary, and disproportionate suspension of the Member of Parliament for Englerston, Glenys Hannah Martin. Moultrie's personal attacks on he and his wife, as well as former House Clerk Maurice Tynes, as well as House of Assembly staff. Mr. Davis also accused the House Speaker of disgracing that office.
Will you vote to keep a man in office who has so desecrated the office? Will you? It is on a day like this. It is on a day like this. I wish we were not compelled by the straitjacket of our party system. And I hope that you all allow persons to speak who want to speak on this matter today.
While he was seconded by the Member of Parliament for Englerston, Glenys Hannah Martin, who called Moultrie's behavior a gross departure from decorum, Leader of Government Business in the House of Assembly, Renwood Wells, moved a resolution for the Speaker to keep his post, adding that the country's legislative agenda has been knocked off track. Wells says it's time to get back to work.
We will not endure this one more day. We on this side will address this issue with a vote of confidence in the Speaker. We are going to move on. We are going to end this sad saga today. We are going to go back to the people's business in the people's house.
And still on news from Parliament, a new multi-billion-dollar oil refinery is headed to Grand Bahama, which is one of several investments Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis says will lead to the revitalization of that island's economy. The Prime Minister announced in the House of Assembly this morning that government recently negotiated a heads of agreement for Oban Energies to open an oil refinery and oil storage facility on Grand Bahama that's expected to create thousands of jobs. Now, the oil refinery has an estimated cost of $4 billion, and the terminal will cost some $1.5 billion. The Prime Minister says the company brings over 30 years of large construction experience to the country, and its management team has worked on large infrastructural projects around the world.
Oban Energies has further advised that first phase will consist of 4 million barrels of crude storage, a harbor, and deep-sea loading dock to service large vessels and the construction of a 50,000 barrel per day refinery. In addition, Oban will build up to 20 million barrel liquid bulk storage facility and a 250,000 barrel per day refinery.
Prime Minister Minnis confirmed the project will create 600 direct jobs and 1,000 indirect jobs during the construction phase. He also detailed some of the terms of the heads of agreement, noting that the developer will contribute $100,000 a year to be used for the establishment of community projects and the development of East Grand Bahama. Prime Minister Minnis says Bahamian Materials and Bahamian Professional Services will also be in connection with the plan's implementation, and there will be technical skills and apprenticeship training for Bahamians.
There shall be established a local community advisory board to determine the use of said funds and shall be comprised of form mutually agreed to both the government and the developer. The developer acknowledges the importance of the marine environment to the government and therefore shall provide an amount of equal to $150,000 to an accredited research institute as may be mutually selected by the government and developer. Such payment shall be made by the date that is 12 months after the commencement of construction of the terminal and/or oil refinery.
Well, the Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama and Minister of Finance, Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable Peter Turnquest, issued a statement today on the government's investments in the pipeline for Grand Bahama. That's all in an effort to improve that island's economy. Regarding the heads of agreement between the government and Oban Energy, Minister Turnquest said this signals a significant development for Grand Bahama with over $4 billion to be invested. The East Grand Bahama MP further noted that training programs and the guarantee of Bahamian contracting and employment opportunities are key features of the agreement. He said the signing and the commencement of construction will spur further development of the beautiful communities of East Grand Bahama and help restart the economy of the entire island of Grand Bahama. Well, Prime Minister Minnis reiterated to reporters yesterday that land reform is high on the government's agenda. He says the need is great for Bahamians seeking home ownership, and government is on course to begin an ambitious housing program in the next few months. Dr. Minnis says the initiative will also include family island residents.
Unfortunately, the average home today may cost anywhere from $180,000 and up. That's very cost prohibitive to the average Bahamian. And therefore we're introducing a program. We would hope that we would have lots available right after the new budget, May, June. And those lots would be sold with all the infrastructure amenities attached to it. And I'm more excited about such a program in the family islands because you would allow Bahamians to buy properties for bed and breakfast facility. The eco hotels are where we're going within the family islands, and you don't want to find ourselves 15, 20 years from today where all the second home owners are foreign nationals and then they're renting or leasing them out as a part of a hotel pool.
Well, the Prime Minister also promised that the new homeowners plan will offer value for money.
Those lots would be sold with all the infrastructure amenities attached to it, and it'd be sold at very, very low price. The only thing I can say that they'd be, I don't want to give the exact cost, but to give you a ballpark figure, I can say that they'd definitely be less than $30,000. So if you can purchase a lot at that price and construct your home duty-free, you can, and you remove all of the second payment and the possible corruption, etc., you would be able to construct your home at a very low price, because remember, the average lot today may cost $100,000 or more. So that's automatically a $70,000 savings. When you're constructing your home, you're paying duty. You're talking about 30 to 50% duty on various things. So that's another at least $60,000 to $80,000 savings. So you're talking about being allowed to save at least a minimum of $120,000.
Also making national news first at 6, new tools donated to immigration officers today. Tech Advance Company presented 4 body cameras, 8 radios with unlimited range from as far away as Canada, and 1 dash camera to Immigration Director Clarence Russell at Immigration's Hawkins Hill headquarters this morning. As local and international groups continue to criticize the operations of immigration officers, Tech Advance spokesman Ronnie Ferguson believes that the new technology, especially the cameras, will help to make their work more transparent.
They have a night vision feature, they have a GPS tracking feature, 1080p camera, high def. They get 12 hours of recording on them.
Can they erase it?
No, it's tamper proof, so the officers cannot tamper with the information that is recorded on the body cams. We have a state-of-the-art advanced database system that we're going to be training the officers in using. So whenever they come in contact with persons on the road, or even if they're doing an apprehension, they can upload that information onto. It's a very secure database, and if a person, for example, want to take a look at that a year later, any contact that the officers might have come in contact with a particular individual will be there. Any videos, any pictures, any audios will be secured there on that database.
Immigration Director Clarence Russell welcomes the new tools and noted that if successful, more body cameras and radios will be utilized, as well as training for much of the department's 600+ employees.
From what we have seen thus far, we are impressed. But of course, we will take the 21-day trial period to look at the exact trustworthiness of the equipment. I am satisfied that thus far we are on the right track in the Immigration Department, being proactive in that which we do. And so we are very appreciative of the equipment that we're receiving today, and they will be put to good use in the execution of our duties. Not just for the protection of our staff, but also in the interest of building and establishing our relationship with members of the public. That is very, very important in this era of accountability.
A town meeting held last night on several issues of national interest. We're just getting started. First at 6, we've got more news on the next side of the break.
Happy birthday, Ariana. Happy birthday to you. What's this for?
I got me say some cake for you.
Ever since you guys moved to the Family Islands, I have missed so many birthdays.
Yes, Mummy. We gotta thank BTC for bringing the internet to our community.
You're right, honey. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Grammy. Say bye, Grammy.
What does support look like? What does it sound like when you feel the pulse of a nation? When you make a difference in the lives of strong, principled, cultured people who are driven by hard work and passion. People who build communities where hospitality is warmly demonstrated, because this is the Bahamas and we're happy to share our wealth. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians. Bahamians helping Bahamians.
With KFC's Family Deal, everything is under control.
Dad genius.
Enjoy our family deal with 8 pieces of freshly prepared chicken, large family fries, and 4 biscuits. All for just $20 including VAT. KFC Nassau, it's finger-licking good.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
Fort Charlotte constituents assembled for a community town meeting last night to discuss two national issues: the decriminalization of marijuana and the laws concerning marital rape. Now, regarding the decriminalization of marijuana, the Member of Parliament for Fort Charlotte, Mark Humes, stressed to those constituents that they must continue to ask themselves several key questions throughout the ongoing debate. For High Commissioner to CARICOM, His Excellency Reuben Ramming, finding the source of the problem is crucial before it can be addressed and laws can be amended. This is why he says public consultation is necessary.
Do we address the individuals that consume? Do we continue to allow it to be a criminal activity to the detriment of many of our young men?
So for those who have a strong like or dislike, I just simply encourage you to get up on your democratic foot and you make your position heard. Because sleeping in your bed will not push your view over the edge to victory, or will not deter or subdue a view that you're against. We must have that kind of vigorous debate.
Well, Tuesday's meeting also discussed the highly controversial issue of marital rape. Minister of State for Legal Affairs, the Honorable Ellsworth Johnson, explained the proposed amendments.
If a spouse has sex without the consent of his spouse, if he doesn't care whether or not that spouse is not consenting in certain circumstances where he's saying, well, I didn't know that she didn't want it. And then it also looks at the case where you extorted by physical violence, or you entrap your wife by keeping her locked up, or where you exploit her. Sometimes you hold the money back or you do certain things to cause her to get the sex. It's calling it sexual assault. And that satisfies the community by not calling it rape. Well, it's for you to decide.
Crossing over now to Family Island News first at 6. One property on Andros prides itself on offering a unique experience for guests and locals. That property is the Pineville Motel that, among other things, also has a pet cemetery. Well, Cleopatra Murphy tells us what other ways it offers a departure from the standard motel.
Goats, turkeys, and a rabbit are just some of the animals that call the Pineville Motel home. The motel on North Andros is the first of its kind in the country, offering more than just boarding for guests, but boasts a petting zoo that is also home to an iguana and wild boar. Owner Eugene Campbell started the property 15 years ago with one purpose: to make it different.
One of the things I've never seen in a motel is a petting zoo, a theater, live entertainment in a garden. You have a garden, we call it Forest Garden of Eden now. And just, I've never seen these in our hotel. Motel is basically just a motel, a building, of course, you know that, but this place you have 4 theaters. We have garden theater and we have an indoor theater.
The 16-room motel also boasts an average occupancy of 75% year-round and is always full on weekends. The crab shower allows guests who have never seen land crabs to see them all year round, and Pineville Garden and Forest teaches about local plants. Campbell says he has found a concept that works, and natives and tourists come year-round to see the animals or watch the shows that also features them. Guests with children are guaranteed to return.
You don't have to worry about a kid no more throughout your stay. You could be for a whole week. And the first thing in the morning, that kid come into the office, he want to feed Precious, and all day the zoo keeps the kids in the yard itself, And so you don't have to worry about a kid. That kid ain't worrying about you no more because he found his friends. So he holding the bunnies in hand, or he taking the goat for a walk, things like that. That makes his day. And of course he can walk and pick plums and grapes off the trees.
Campbell says another unique aspect of the motel is each room is different. He says things constantly change and rooms are currently being renovated. The property owner says his willingness to adjust prices with fire specials also adds to his success.
That special burn when there's nothing happening, which means that our rate can go from $150 down to $75 and down to $54. Right now right now our rate back up to $70 a night on single rooms. Of course the suites are about $150, but VAT is $161. But keep in mind, on Monday, Tuesday, when nothing really is happening, our rate goes back. The fire start burning, it's a special one. So the rate is actually $49.95, but the VAT's $54. Believe it or not, for two.
The entrepreneur says he believes it is better to make $1 than to get nothing. Campbell is also big on recycling, using PVC pipes as bed heads, also repurposing empty containers as musical instruments for guests to join the entertainment. He says if you want a unique experience, the Pineville Motel is the place to be. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Cleopatra. The highly anticipated blockbuster movie Black Panther is set to hit theaters worldwide this weekend. But thanks to a local fraternity, moviegoers here in the Bahamas are in for a treat. Right now, members of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity are enjoying a special screening of the film at Galleria Cinemas. Former fraternity executive Marcus Lang noted what the film stands for is in line with the fraternity's belief. And that's what makes the upcoming event so special.
Black, Greek-lettered fraternities and sororities, you know, we promote our culture, all of us of African descent, and the movie being showcasing the opulence of African royalty in a way. It's huge for us, you know. It signifies a legacy that is not usually celebrated. And Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, we celebrate that. The Black and Old Gold is all about opulence, all about culture, and all about the plight of our people.
Well, apart from being able to see the film, moviegoers can meet the fraternity's special guest, Bahamian Michael Hanna, who was a stuntman from the movie. Public liaison officer for the fraternity's local chapter, Dominic Stubbs, told us that the response to the event has been overwhelmingly positive, as 600 tickets were sold.
We just looked at it as an opportunity to bring it here to the Bahamian people, because, you know, things like this happens a lot in the U.S., so it's always cool when we have events like advanced screenings where you can make it into the event and you come out and you enjoy yourself. And most importantly, through buying your tickets, you are now giving back to us, not us, but to the young men of the Bahamas who will benefit from our scholarship fund, who will benefit from our mentorship fund.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
The wait is over. The music project is here. Experience the excitement, creativity, and talent from 13 of the nation's top high school pop bands. Saturday, February 17th, 2018, 2 p.m. at the Botanical Garden. Tickets available at Airbrush Junkies, Mario's Bowling, and all participating schools. Adults 15, students 10 in advance, more at the door. Children under 5 are free. Gates open at 2 p.m. That's the music project. Are you ready?
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
Bring all the noise, drums, cowbells, whistles, and horns. FIBA World Cup qualifier games are back at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gym. Show your Bahamian pride and wear your colors as we take on the Dominican Republic Thursday, February 22nd, and Canada Sunday, February 25th. Oh my, I can't wait for all the above the rim, fast break, wire-to-wire games. Team 242 needs their 6th man to be there. I know I'll be there. Tickets can be purchased online at www.etix.com.
Financial dreams only become a reality when we make the commitment to ourselves and our financial future. Let Leno help you bridge your dream into a reality. Leno Corporate Services offer individual retirement plans, pension administration, investment management, brokerage and trading, accounting, payroll, and corporate services.
Leno, bridging possibilities. Contact us at 396-3225.
Honey, what are you doing?
Well, I'm just putting together a to-do list.
A to-do list?
what you gotta do so?
The first thing we need to do is change these old kitchen cabinets.
That's true, you know, but where can we find new ones at affordable prices?
Conant Bahamas.
They still in Nassau?
Conant Bahamas is now located in the Sandy Port Shopping Plaza. They offer affordable prices on kitchen cabinets, granite countertops, laminate flooring, and PVC sliding windows. Open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Visit their showroom today. Conant Bahamas. Dream, design, deliver.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Kelsey Johnson. Here's your first look at sports for Wednesday. The St. Augustine's College Big Red Machine is out front at the end of day one. They've chugged ahead to take the lead in 10 of the 12 divisions contested at the BAISS Track and Field Championships. They are holding on to a 46-point lead over Queens College Comets. The Big Red Machine has a one-day total of 459.50 points. Queens College sits in second with 413.50 points. St. John's College has a one-day total of 132 points. The St. Anne's Blue Waves are currently in fourth with 116 points. Temple Christian holds down the fifth spot with 69.50 points, and Nassau Christian Academy is sixth with 60 points. The BAISS Track and Field Championships is one of the pre-qualifying meets for the upcoming Carifta Track and Field Championships, which will be held in New Providence March 30th through April 2nd. Now, the Bahamas is the defending champions of the Carifta Swimming. The 36-member squad will head to Jamaica over the Easter holiday weekend to defend their title. Rolling out the red carpet just minutes before pulling out the brooms for a clean sweep was the Donald Davis Royals Junior Boys squad. The team, which was undefeated on the season, won their third straight championship title in the GSSA League on Tuesday. They defeated the CH Reef Raptors 44-36.
I give God thanks and praise for giving me the grace to be a basketball coach. I thank God for my principal, all of the parents that put these boys in my care. I thank God for my wife who allowed me to do these boys so much time in practice. You know, it's no rest for the weary. I start practice on Saturday for the returning guys. We're going to go through the whole Easter and through the summer playing tournaments, camps, and preparing. For me, this is a way of life.
All it is pretty much just working on them simple mistakes, you know what I mean? And that's carried over to next year. A lot of them still coming back, so all we got to do is continue to practice, you know, practice make perfect, so that's all we got to do and we'll be okay.
When you put this team together this year, did you think they were going to make it this far?
We set goals at the beginning. We said that we want to make playoffs, and once we get that, we'll make it a championship.
A free throw would be the deciding shot in the senior boys game between CC Sweeting Cobras and Anatole Rogers. With 0.2 seconds remaining in the game, Kevin Thompson stepped to the free throw line in hopes of forcing an overtime. He connected on the first shot, but missed the second. The Cobras would go on to win the game 62-61.
From day one, we felt that we were one of the better teams in New Providence. Yeah, we had a short season, we slipped down one or two, but we knew that these guys, once they stay focused, we had been fine. I'm not surprised at the win. We came in this game, and tonight when we came to the game, we said, this is going to be a tough one, but we're not going to game 3. And my boys make sure that happened.
I give God thanks when we won, and I give him thanks when we lose. That game here, if you were in the gym, you paid your money, you got your money's worth. My guys played excellent. They played a very good team. They coached by Mario. He's an excellent coach, and we gave it our best. I could sleep well tonight knowing they gave it everything they had to win the game. We had a 10th grader on the free throw line, and he missed a big free throw. If there's anything that will come out of this positively, is that next year and the year after, he will be ready for that situation. Notwithstanding, we are in the season of basketball. Hugh Campbell is coming up. Nationals is coming up. We punched our ticket to go to Nationals. And so CC Sweden won the championship in GSSA. We're looking forward to Hugh Campbell and also Nationals.
For the first time in a very long time, the HO Nash Lions will be playing a decisive game. The Lions, who are the defending champions in the Junior Girls Division, were defeated by T.A. Thompson on Tuesday, 29-22.
The game plan is the same. We're going to go back. We're going to work on some things too that we missed today. And so I guess it's going to be a dogfight on Thursday. Knowing that she trained me, it proves that she done a good job.
Doris Johnson Marlin Senior Girls came back and forced a third and decisive game with a 37-24 win over CV Bethel.
You know, when you have an undefeated season and then you come out flat,
those are two things that don't work together. And so we didn't really sleep last night. We really sweat last night, and so we put some work in this morning and executed the game plan with excellence today. We recognize that we have strengths on this team. We have really good players, but you know, when you have really good players, they tend to be really stubborn at times and they want their own way, but they recognize that an individual could win a game, but a team win championships. So we decided to come together.
When we play, they just, two players always be on me, and it's always be me the one who always gotta get foul. But I just have to be more aggressive and do what my coach say.
Play continued in the New Providence Basketball Association over at the Donald Davis Gym last night. Soaring above the competition was the Breezes High Flyers, who defeated the Triple K Stampers 82-73. In the feature game saw the JD Seafood Sharkers zap the Leno Regulators 74-67. The number 2 Michigan State Spartans pounded Minnesota 89-57. Lou Rawls' Tum Tum Nan finished with 3 points and 3 assists. Buddy Hield scored 8 points in the 114-108 Sacramento Kings win over the Dallas Mavericks last night. Hield and crew will be back on court tonight playing fellow son of the soil Eric Gordon and the Houston Rockets. The Rockets were also on the court on Tuesday night. They beat the Minnesota Timberwolves 131-126. Gordon posted 13 points in the win. That's your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. There's more to come.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
If you've lost your visa, call the law office of Donette Russell Love PL. My full-service immigration firm can help you if you've been denied a visa due to deportation or removal, prior conviction or arrest while in the U.S., working without work authorization, or visa overstay. I may be able to help you get your visa privileges restored. Call my office today at 954-449-1833 or visit us at drusselllove.com.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
The wait is over. The Music Project is here. Experience the excitement, creativity, and talent from 13 of the nation's top high school pop bands. Saturday, February 17th, 2018, 2 p.m. at the Botanical Garden. Tickets available at Airbrush Junkies, Mario's Bowling, and all participating schools. Adults 15, students 10 in advance, more at the door. Children under 5 are free. Gates open at 2 p.m. That's the Music Project. Are you ready?
I guess I was too big-eyed. You promised me so much. I gave up my time, my friends, my connections, and my contacts. And this is how you treat me? I should have never left my mean squeeze for this side piece. And all these funny numbers and things.
Why switch when you can stay with the company that covers every island, rock, and key? BTC, every day.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, that broad area of high pressure across the Bahamas has relaxed a bit over the northwest Bahamas. As a result, the winds have come down, but not so fortunate for the central and southeastern islands, where the winds remain brisk around 15 to 20 knots. Outside of our studios, we have a few clouds, temperatures 78 degrees, relative humidity at 69%. The winds are out of the northeast at 10 knots, barometric pressure 1,025.8 millibars. That's 30.29 inches, and it is steady. That's going to do it for your first look at 1 at 6. Stay tuned. More weather is still to come.
Thanks, Basil. We thank you so much for watching First at 6. It's time now for a check on stories making news around the northern Bahamas.
In the east, the Christian community marking the launch of the Lenten season, and ZNS involved in a love connection.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening and a happy Valentine's Day to all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news, a heads of agreement to be signed next week for a multi-billion-dollar project in East Grand Bahama. The Prime Minister making the announcement in Parliament today. The nation's leader noting that the East End project, along with the sale and reopening of the Grand Lucayan and the recently announced project in West End, should help to bring stability to the Grand Bahama economy. Kimberly Mullings has this story.
Mr. Speaker, the government of Bahamas approved Oban Energies to commence an oil refinery and oil storage facility in Grand Bahama.
Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis announced that the government has successfully completed negotiating the heads of agreement for the commencement of this important project, noting that on Monday the heads of agreement will be signed.
I am advised that Oban Energies management team has been involved in large energy infrastructure projects around the world and brings over 30 years of large, complex construction experience. Oban Energies has further advised that first phase will consist of 4 million barrels of crude storage, a harbor, and deep-sea loading dock to service large vessels and the construction of a 50,000 barrel per day refinery. In addition, Oban will build up to 20 million barrel liquid bulk storage facility and a 250,000 barrel per day refinery.
Prime Minister Minnis adding that Oban Energies has committed to creating 600 direct jobs and hundreds of indirect jobs during construction. The oil refinery has an estimated project cost of up to $4 billion and the terminal has an estimated project cost of up to $1.5 billion.
The developer shall contribute funds in the sum of $100,000 per annum to be used for community projects and the development of East Grand Bahama. There shall be established a local community advisory board to determine the use of said funds and shall be comprised of form mutually agreed to both the government and the developer. The developer acknowledges the importance of the marine environment to the government and therefore shall provide an amount of equal to $150,000 to an accredited research institute as may be mutually selected by the government and developer.
The Prime Minister also went on to provide additional details of the heads of agreement.
The developer shall cooperate with the government to put in place and sustain during the course of the development multidisciplinary on-the-job technical skills training and apprenticeship programs designed to equip the developer's Bahamian employees with the level of technical proficiency reasonably necessary for the promotion and advancement, and shall render reasonable periodic assistance toward curriculum development at the University of the Bahamas, provided that the annual cost to the developer of the foregoing shall not exceed $100,000 or $250,000 US in the aggregate.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Now, Member of Parliament for East End, the Honorable K. Peter Turnquest, by way of a press statement, noting that the heads of agreement with Oban Energy Refinery and Oil Storage Facility signals a significant development for East End with over $4 billion to be invested. He says training programs and the guarantee of Bahamian contracting and employment opportunities are key features of the agreement. MP Turnquest says they look forward to the signing and the commencement of construction, which will spur further development of the communities of East Grand Bahama. Turnquest also noting that they look forward to the additional announcements to be made regarding Grand Bahama's revitalization over the next few weeks. During his address, Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis said that 2 more heads of agreement are on tap for Grand Bahama and will be announced in the coming weeks. Another day of testimony today in the Barry and Sheena Johnson murder trial in the Supreme Court. As Italia Hall tells us, several objections were raised during today's cross-examination.
During the morning session, counsel for Paul Belazaire, attorney Jeffrey Farquharson, focused on a man named Diane Dean, who was charged along with Samiko Rigby for an armed robbery which occurred in Carroll Beach, September 2015. He asked Sergeant Lorenzo Johnson if Dean was arrested on suspicion for the murder of Barry and Sheena Johnson. Johnson said that they had information that he was involved, and when it was found out that he was not, he was released. Farquharson then told Johnson that he also had Rigby in custody because he had information that Rigby was involved in this matter, and Johnson agreed. Farquharson suggested to Johnson that there is another way to get out of police custody, where police can know someone committed a crime and release them because they are a rat, and the street name for rat is someone who is an informant for police. Johnson responded by saying he does not know about that, nor does he agree. Farquharson then moved on to Alan Alsame and Virgil Hall, asking Officer Johnson if he knows them. Johnson said yes. Attorney Farquharson then went back to the Diane Dean case, asking Johnson if he knew that he cut a deal with the Crown. Johnson responded by saying he does not know about that. Farquharson then asked for the transcripts from the Diane Dean trial to be shown to the witness, which he claimed he got from the prosecution. Carlton Sherlin, who's representing defendant Kevin Dames, then intervened, noting that he should have gotten a copy as well. The transcripts were then shown to the Crown, the prosecution, and Justice Estelle Gray Evans. Prosecutor Neil Brathwaite then interjected. He told Justice Gray Evans that they never gave a copy of that transcript to Attorney Farquharson. Farquharson continued his cross-examination, asking Officer Johnson multiple questions about Dean. Prosecutor Erica Kemp objected, noting that the Diane Dean case has no relevance to the Barry and Sheena Johnson murder trial. But Farquharson once again asked Officer Johnson to look at the transcripts from the Diane Dean case, asking him if he saw where Dean entered a plea deal with the government. Johnson said that he did not know. Attorney Farquharson then told Johnson that the whole point of the cross-examination is to show that he is a great investigator but knows nothing. Justice Estelle Gray Evans intervened and asked Attorney Farquharson to move on to the next question. Now, shortly before the morning session came to an end, Attorney Sherlin told Justice Estelle Gray Evans that he will be making application to sever his client from the trial. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Some members of the Christian community celebrating Ash Wednesday today. It is the official start of the Lenten season. The annual observance was marked with a special service which draws on the biblical tradition of covering one's head with ashes. It is a day of penance to cleanse the soul before the Lent fast begins. Priest at Mary Star of the Sea Catholic Church, Father David Cooper says, during the 40-day period, Christians focus on the sacrificial love of Christ that culminated on Calvary's cross.
We begin this 40-day to really relive this 40-day temptation in the desert by the evil one, Satan. And so we also, in our own daily lives, use Jesus as a model on how we can successfully resist temptation or conquer temptation. And so this is a time when the church, in fact, you will notice this is one time when all Christians are really on the same page.
While some people abstain from things in their daily routines during Lent, Father Cooper says this is not a time for physical boot camp, but rather a time for a spiritual awakening. He says the key components of Lent are prayer, fasting, and almsgiving.
When we pray, we communicate with God, God communicates with us, and we get guidance, we get direction, we get wisdom. When we fast, we rely more on God's provision and less on ourselves. And so when we give up a meal or eat less, we rely on God's grace and mercy to sustain us. And the almsgiving is an act of thanksgiving for God's faithfulness, and so we assist the poor.
Now on Ash Wednesday, the foreheads of churchgoers are marked with a cross of ashes as a symbol of death and sorrow for sin. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition continues in just a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
Come on down now
to the plant nursery at Dolly Madison for Dieffenbachia, mums, bromeliads, passion,
corn plants,
fire, anthuriums, Valentine,
hydrangeas,
romance, begonias, spectacular, ferns, ornamental, ficus, palms, and the most spectacular selection of roses on the island. Guaranteed to heighten the spark of romance in your life. Dolly's got all the favorites that are sure to make this Valentine's extra special.
Come on down now.
Grand Bahama, you don't want to miss Love and Laugh comedy show brought to you by Flying High Promotions. 7 p.m. Saturday, March 3rd at a Social Affair Convention Center. Tickets $30 in advance.
Do you know what driving while intoxicated means? Motorists who drive while texting. Did you know that motorists who talk on handheld or even hand-free devices while driving are just as impaired as drunk drivers? Countless of accidents happen every year and even deaths due to these thoughtless actions. So remember, the next time you're attempted to text and drive, remember it may mean life or death.
This message was brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas and John West Shoe Store. We're going to take you there in style.
This Saturday, February 17th, the Department of Labor and local companies invite you to Labor on the Blocks Job Fair at the Columbus Park from 11 until 4 p.m.
This month alone, I reduced my power bill by over $300 by purchasing a solar system from Northern Bahamas Utility Company. My power bill is now $16. Can you believe it?
Here's another reason why owning a solar system from Northern Bahamas Utilities is right for you. Stop by today at number 8 Oak Street or call us at 225-0766 extension 106 and ask about our in-house financing or lease-to-own option. See you today.
Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Love is in the air at the Broadcasting Corporation Northern Service. Well, at least for a few brave radio listeners that decided to take part in the Power 104.5 FM Perfect Fit Matchmaking Challenge. The group took part in a speed dating meet and greet here at the ZNS TV office. Administrative Assistant and co-organizer of the Perfect Fit Matchmaking Initiative, Allison Smith, says that the initiative came about as a way to involve the younger listeners of Power 104.5 FM during this time of love. Contestants filled out a compatibility form and came into our ZNS radio station to share more information about themselves with the listening audience.
The males came in first, and they chat on the radio, and they told us a little about themselves and what they would be interested in. And then we had the females come in and do the same. No one got to see each other. They just listened on the radio, and they assigned themselves actually code names. And going by the applications, if you would look at the applications, there was some compatibility just from the filling out the forms. So now they actually get to sit down today, have a nice mix and mingle, talk, almost like a speed dating thing. 2-3 minutes, get to know one another, and enjoy a nice lunch.
Contestants were allowed to give themselves code names in order to hide their identities and to showcase a little more about their personalities. These contestants say they had a great time at the speed dating mix and mingle.
It's interesting. Spoke with a lot of people. It's a nice environment. Enjoy myself.
I thought, why not? And I didn't mind meeting new people. Yeah, I didn't have a problem with that.
Thought it would be a fun experience, meeting new people. I don't normally go out, so this is a great way to meet new people. So if you're an introvert, you ain't gotta be shy to come on here.
Now, whether they find their one true love or not, the contestants say they enjoyed the experience and they look forward to creating new friendships.
A few friends here and there. Someone I can at least talk to, you know what I mean? Just, I guess, a friend.
I hope to gain a friend, and not to say I know what I'm gonna gain, but I gained confidence.
Companionship. whatever way, in whatever way, shape, or form it comes, companionship. I hope it's a romantic kind, but hey, yeah, that's it.
Now the Perfect Fit team here at the Northern Service will observe the chemistry between contestants and decide who will win the ultimate date.
At the end of the challenge, we send them on a nice dinner. They don't know where they're going as yet, because we wanted to observe and see if maybe we have some romantics or we have some outgoing persons that like to probably spend the day on the beach. And at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be a perfect love. It can be just a companionship. You may find someone who enjoys going to the beach, and you can just have a friend that you want to go to the beach with, or who knows, you may end up putting a ring on it.
And continuing with our 5 Days of Love series, tonight we feature Jamal and Shanique Munker, a couple who exemplifies the meaning of love.
We met 2003.
Yeah.
2003, but we didn't know we were going to, you know, become lovers. My cousin's like, Monty interested in you, so y'all, you know, give him a chance. I said, okay. So I did, and we talked, and we went from there, 2003.
And he was like, what's your story? What's your name?
Yeah.
And to me, that was the cue that she was interested in me, because when she said, out of all there was about 4 guys there, and all the guys, she picked through the crowd and she said, what's your name? What's your story? And you know, when we first met, I didn't know it was gonna foster into this strong bond. But in retrospect, as I look back, I see that she was a gift from God to me. I think a lot of men make a mistake of thinking that because you've been with a woman for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you don't have to tell that woman you love her. You don't have to woo her or act as if you're trying to get her for the first time. You're trying to count the first date. Now, what's so special is that she's been with me before the success, before the fame, before the glory. She's been with me when I was basically living in my car. And now we've created a successful enterprise, international enterprise. And I can appreciate her because I know she's not a gold digger, because she was with me from rags, and she helped me to obtain riches. And we've not just riches financially, but also spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, and mentally.
Yeah.
And so, you know, every strong man requires a strong woman.
We've been through ups and downs, in and out, and you keep me grounded, you keep me motivated, you push me to do more, and I do appreciate you for that every day.
I just want to say to Zedness, this is wonderful, because I feel like this interview tonight has strengthened our bond, has strengthened our marriage, and has bring a sense of renewal into our life, our relationship, so that we can appreciate each other. And it takes a lot of courage for you as my wife to go on an international platform and to exhibit and to display your love for me. They have bring a match tonight and struck it, and now there's fire in the room.
And now it is time to ask the doctor.
Welcome. Robin from Nassau sent this question. Dr. Pratt, my mother has heart disease. I notice that sometimes I also get pain in my chest, even though it's only for a short period. What are some ways to prevent heart disease? Heart disease describes a collection of conditions that affect your heart, such as any heart defects you may have had when you were born, blood vessel diseases, and heart rhythm problems, what we call arrhythmias. Although heart disease is a leading cause of death, you do not have to accept this as your fate. You may not have the power to change some of the risk factors of heart disease, like family history, sex, or age, but there are some heart disease prevention steps that you can take. The key to preventing heart disease is adopting a heart-healthy lifestyle. By implementing the following prevention tips, you can avoid heart disease. Don't smoke or use tobacco. Exercise for at least 30 minutes for 5 days a week. Eat a heart-healthy diet, maintain a healthy weight, get enough sleep, and get regular health checkups. If you have a question about living a heart-healthy lifestyle and need tips on how to lower your risk for developing heart disease, please drop it in my question box at the hospital or at any one of our Grand Bahama community clinics. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask a Doctor.
Don't go away, Ricardo Lightbourne is up next with a check on sports.
This Saturday, February 17th, the Department of Labor and Local Companies invite you to Labor on the Blocks Job Fair at the Columbus Park from 11 until 4 p.m.
KFC Famous Bowls are back. Stay warm this winter with KFC Famous Bowls. Regular and barbecue. Hot, creamy mashed potatoes topped with corn and the Colonel's delicious popcorn chicken layered in hot gravy or our sweet honey barbecue sauce topped with our 3-cheese blend. So much to eat. What are you waiting on? Stay cold or get warm with KFC Famous Bowls. Available at all KFC restaurants in Freeport.
More Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
Everybody, it's Sports Member Ricardo Lightbourne, and also get this at Winsley, Russell, and yes, Mr. Pratt, my good friend, celebrating on Valentine's. Way to go, guys. Let's get right to it. The Pacers Walter Parker Primary and the 2017-18 James Goons Culmer and Keith Mullings Primary School basketball champs went down to West End. Had a great time. Kim Mullings was there.
The boys and girls basketball teams were greeted by James Culmer and Jan Mullings at Old Bahama Bay, who presented them with brand new basketballs, took pictures, and had a lot of fun touring the property before being treated to lunch. Culmer pointed to the importance of giving back. He was once where the students are, and fortunately, those who knew the game of basketball reached out to him and contributed positively to his success. So he believes it's only fitting that he does the same.
Wish Keith was here, because obviously Keith was kind of a mentor to me as a young boy growing up, being a little younger, watching him be a professional. What I hope they see here is somebody who came up the route of basketball, who was educated from basketball, and who now is working and managing this property. And it tells you that, you know, the NBA, you can make it to the NBA, but really and truly the more realistic goal is to be educated adequately so you can do something like this, work in an environment like this where you can help others, you know, to grow.
Widow of the late Keith Mullings, Jan Mullings says, it is a pleasure to be able to carry on the legacy of her husband and Mr. Culmer.
Although Keith is not with us, his heart has always been with the children, and I'm certainly happy to be able to continue to give back year after year. It's a day off for them. They've worked for it, and it's certainly our treat. We enjoy giving back to them. We enjoy doing what we do to make them happy.
School representatives presented Culmer and Mullings with tokens of their appreciation, and students Quentin Gordon Jr., Ciara Poitier, and Kiana Andrews were all excited to be able to spend the day at Old Bahama Bay.
It's great to come to Old Bahama Bay or to all the schools in Grand Bahama, and I'm happy.
This is good to come to here and play basketball for our championship game. We travel a long while to come here, and so far I'm having fun. I love the basketballs.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Soul Sports.
Way to go, kids. Let's look at your sports tonight.
This Saturday, February 17th, the Department of Labor and Local Companies invite you to Labor on the Blocks Job Fair at the Columbus Park from 11 until 4 p.m.
I'm Hugh Ferguson from Budget Pest Control. After 30 years in this industry, testing hundreds of pest control products, none has impressed me more than Vape. Vape 90-Day Mosquito Destroyer, Vape Aerosol, and Vape Mosquito Coil. Vape is the only spray that you will find in my house and my mother's house, and it should be the only one in yours. In pest control, there are only two names to remember: Vape and Budget Pest Control.
Okay, Valentine's Day, and I gotta say to Judith Sandra Dane Lightborn, happy Valentine's, baby.
Happy Valentine's Day and happy birthday to our Kia Russell and my cousin Tina Powell.
And they ain't said no cake.
Tomorrow, possibly, probably not. That's going to do it for us here in the north.
Over Cadillac boy.
I'm Megan Shepherd. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
The Code of Practice covers matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, such as local content, news, current affairs, programs for children, advertising, including political advertisements, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting in the Bahamas. The Code also covers aspects such as access services for the hearing and visually impaired, and the procedure for lodging a complaint about anything broadcast by this station. The code is available on the IRCA website at www.ircabahamas.bs. To receive a copy of the code by mail or in person, you may telephone IRCA at 242-393-0234. Family Island dialing is toll-free at 1-242-300-8722, or you may send a request by email to info@ircabahamas.bs.
For generations, Bahamians, visitors, and international customers have enjoyed the luscious taste of the Bahamian spiny lobster. The spiny lobster is the most lucrative marine resource in the Bahamas that supports a profitable fishing industry, generating millions of dollars annually and providing employment for thousands of Bahamians. Though the lobster fishery seems stable, threats impacting this fishery still exist, including illegal harvesting of undersized lobsters and harvesting during the close season. To address some of these threats impacting lobster populations, a lobster fishery improvement project is being implemented. In order to sustain the country's lobster populations and secure Bahamian livelihoods, all stakeholders must work together and participate in efforts such as the Lobster Fishery Improvement Project to help better manage our fishery.
I would like to encourage all Bahamian stakeholders to promote and support legal harvesting and purchasing of lobsters. If we expect to benefit from our marine resources well into the future, we must take action now and make the necessary changes to protect our way of life.
I think all Bahamians should support the Fisheries Improvement Project. It helps to strengthen the management process for our fisheries.
Agent, before we send you out in the world, we must make sure that your mission is intact. Yes, ma'am! Agent 1, what is a touch? Physical contact, ma'am. Agent 2, what is a good touch? Touches that make you feel alright, ma'am. Such as? A high five, a handshake, even a kiss, ma'am. Good. Now, Agent 3, what is a bad touch? Touches that make you feel not so good, ma'am. Like a slap, a kick, a pinch, and most important, if someone touches your private part. And what do we do when someone gives us a bad touch? We tell a trusted adult, ma'am, for help, ma'am. Tell them, don't do that, ma'am.
National Report, members of the opposition tabling a no-confidence vote against the House Speaker in the lower chamber today. We've got the latest. The government giving first-time homeowners an opportunity to own a piece of the rock through an ambitious housing program. The Department of Immigration getting some much-needed equipment. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts right now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
The majority of parliamentarians throwing their support behind House Speaker the Honorable Holson Moultrie. Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis. The resolution to vote confidence in the Speaker of the House of Assembly today, this evening, with 26 approves, 4 noes, 1 abstain, and 7 members were absent. Once the vote was done, the Speaker, resumed the chair. Our Alto V's Munnings joins us live in studio with the latest. Good evening, Alto.
Good evening, Bahamas. Well, it took the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Holson Moultrie, gratefulness for him to return back to the House of Assembly after being voted confident from the members of the House of Assembly. He thanked God, his constituents of Nassau Village for voting for him to serve in the House of Assembly, as well as the Bahamas Christian Council for their timely intervention and spiritual advice during this entire ordeal. The Speaker of the House of Assembly said he's also grateful to his parliamentary colleagues for their vote of confidence. Now, Speaker Moultrie reminisced on his election as the 54th Speaker of the House of Assembly, and during that election he said he pledged to uphold rules and procedures of the House of Assembly. And after the events of these past several days, Mr. Moultrie apologized for his actions.
The events that led to these unfortunate and regrettable set of circumstances found their genesis in my 31st of January 2018 efforts to enforce the rules of procedure and to demand respect for the chair in this honorable House. This resulted in the suspension of the member for Angleton. What followed could not be predicted. My wife and I were attacked as I was labeled a misogynist, and my character, integrity, and competence were publicly castigated and or questioned by a former co-worker. Notwithstanding, my response from the chair was not an appropriate response. I am indeed very sorry that it occurred and that it precipitated the bitterness and resentment that followed.
Speaker Moultrie said as an ordained minister, he knows that God will give all of the parliamentarians an opportunity for a fresh start. The Speaker admitted that he's not a perfect man, and he said he didn't ask for the job as House Speaker, but he believes he has been chosen for a time such as this.
To get into the flesh and out of character on the 7th of February 2018. And I said things that I should not have said. I realize now that some of my words were hurtful and that some words opened the door to be construed in a way that they were not intended. All I ask is that all members be mindful of their obligations to the chair. Members should also be mindful of the chair's obligation to the House, and I remind myself of that constantly. This House, as it is
The Speaker also opened the door to the opposition's parliamentary team, noting that after the actions of the recent weeks, he will work with them in any capacity. Before the Speaker returned to the House, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis acknowledged that the House of Assembly is at the center of our parliamentary democracy that has seen many challenges over the nearly 3 centuries of its existence. In his contribution to the resolution of confidence in the Speaker of the House of Assembly earlier this afternoon, Prime Minister Minnis outlined the values and ideals of the Free National Movement. He concluded by reminding parliamentarians that the Free National Movement is a party that respects authority and law and order. And in the House of Assembly, he says, the Speaker represents authority.
I want to remind the member, who is a lawyer, that in the court of law, the judge is the authority in such situations. that authority must likewise be respected. And if the member showed disrespect for that judge, she or he is charged with contempt, and that has certain penalties attached to it. We are no different. I ask the members to respect the high authority of the Speaker.
In referencing Opposition Leader Philip Davis's moving of the no confidence resolution, Prime Minister Minnis welcomed the idea of appointing an independent Speaker of the House of Assembly.
The Speaker is an individual who the government and the opposition can agree upon, and that Speaker runs into a constituency unopposed. That's democracy. If you want to go that road, we will go that road.
Yes.
And we await your input so that we can commence parliamentary reform.
Reporting live from the newsroom, I'm Altaviz Munnings. Back to you, LaDawn.
Thanks, Alto. Now, prior to that, the opposition held true to its word when suspended members returned to the House of Parliament today, moving a vote of no confidence against Speaker the Honorable Holson Moultrie. Cleopatra Murphy reports.
Opposition Leader the Honorable Philip Davis moved a resolution for a vote of no confidence against Speaker of the House of Assembly Holson Moultrie Wednesday, appealing to House members to condemn the actions of the Speaker for what was widely criticized as a personal attack on the opposition last week.
Will you vote to keep a man in office who has so desecrated the office? Will you? It is on a day like this. It is on a day like this. I wish we were not compelled by the straitjacket of our party system. And I hope that you all allow persons to speak who want to speak on this matter today.
Following last week's proceedings, the remaining 3 opposition members were suspended after they walked out of the House. Member of Parliament for Anglerston, Glenys Hannah Martin, who seconded Davis's motion, insisted today that she will not be silenced, calling the Speaker's actions last week a gross departure from decorum.
His conduct has shocked the nation, led to public outcry and widespread commentary, and embarrassed our Honorable House. But what has been equally or perhaps more shocking is the endorsement, the commendation, the laughter, the banging on the tables and gleeful support by members who sat in this House.
Leader of Government Business in the House, the Honorable Renwood Wells, moved a resolution for Moultrie to keep his post, adding that the country's legislative agenda has been knocked off track due to the opposition's hubris.
We will not endure this one more day. We on this side will address this issue with a vote of confidence in the Speaker. We are going to move on. We are going to end this sad saga today. We are going to go back to the people's business in the people's house.
Wells was seconded by Member of Parliament for Pinewood, Reuben Ramming.
Pinewood is discouraging unnecessary degradation of the people's business and waste of their productive time in this place anymore. No. Let's show our bosses, the Bahamian people, better than we can tell them.
Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Free National Movement Chairman Carl Kalmer issuing a statement this afternoon on the PLP, putting politics over the good of the country. He says the difference is he could rather not be more dramatic, and the FNM has set us about responding to the people they serve, working to pass anti-corruption laws, he says, corruption measures rather, the economy to attract new and better paying jobs, as well as working to improve education for children. The FNM chairman says they have been focused on passing a legislative agenda that seeks to uplift everyone, not just the chosen few. Yet, he says, sadly, the PLP continues to put their petty politics over the will of the people, even now resorting to sideshow antics in a concerted effort to prevent the House from moving forward and debating critical pieces of legislation. Now, he says the people made it clear last year they want action and progress, and the FNM is answering that call. He says the PLP's tenure nearly broke the country, and now they seek to use new tools and tactics to try and drag the country down and maintain the status quo they created. The FNM chairman says his party will not be deterred, and they will stay focused on the will of the people who demanded change and wanted the country to turn away from the PLP system of what they called fairness. Culmer says the FNM will stay focused on what they were elected to do and keep working to deliver the change that will lift up this country. A new multi-billion-dollar oil refinery is headed to Grand Bahama, one of several investments Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis says will lead to the revitalization of that island's economy. He announced in the House of Assembly that government recently negotiated a heads of agreement for Oban Energies to open a refinery and oil storage facility on the nation's second city, which will create thousands of jobs. The facility has an estimated value of $4 billion, and the terminal will cost some $1.5 billion. The Prime Minister says the company brings over 30 years of large construction experience to this country, and its management team has worked on large infrastructural projects around the world.
Oban Energies has further advised that first phase will consist of 4 million barrels of crude storage, a harbor, and deep-sea loading dock to service large vessels and the construction of a 50,000 barrel per day refinery. In addition, Oban will build up to 20 million barrel liquid bulk storage facility and a 250,000 barrel per day refinery.
Prime Minister Minnis says the project will create 600 direct jobs and 1,000 indirect jobs during the construction phase. He also details some of the terms of the heads of agreement, noting that the developer will contribute $100,000 a year to be used for the establishment of community projects and the development of East Grand Bahama. He says Bahamian materials and Bahamian professional services will also be in connection with the plan's implementation, and there will be technical skills and apprenticeship training for all Bahamians.
There shall be established a local community advisory board to determine the use of said funds and shall be comprised of form mutually agreed to both the government and the developer. The developer acknowledges the importance of the marine environment to the government and therefore shall provide an amount of equal to $150,000 to an accredited research institute as may be mutually selected by the government and developer. Such payment shall be made by the date, that is 12 months after the commencement of construction of the terminal and or oil refinery.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell and Lenten, designed for extra miles.
Commonwealth Bank MasterCard and SunCard MasterCard, the perfect team.
Using my Commonwealth Bank MasterCard is so easy. It's accepted around the corner and around the world.
Commonwealth Bank SunCard MasterCard lets you buy something Bahamian with something Bahamian. SunCard MasterCard will be accepted wherever you see the MasterCard logo throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Local bank, local card, local purchases. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Every day you wake up with the world in the palm of your hand. Making connections and creating memories and sharing them with the people you care about. Every day the world is at your fingertips, and you can experience every blockbuster movie in stunning HD and top 100 Billboard music hit with the touch of a button. Every day your family and friends are important to you, and staying in touch no matter where you are in the Bahamas or the world is your #1 priority. And that's why every day for over 100 years, BTC has been there to ensure that every Bahamian has the best connection to the world. We cover every island, rock and key, regardless of the cost. This is BTC Country.
With KFC's Family Deal, everything is under control.
Dad genius.
Enjoy our family deal with 8 pieces of freshly prepared chicken, large family fries, and 4 biscuits. All for just $20 including VAT. KFC Nassau, it's finger-licking good.
Have you heard about RIA? It's one of Cash and Go's new ways to transfer money. RIA allows you to send money for cash pickup or direct to a bank account. Send money, pay bills, pay insurance, purchase airline tickets, make Visa payments. Love Cash and Go. Ask us about RIA money transfer today. For more information, call 322-CASH or visit simplycashandgo.com.
Good night, BTC family. It's Julian Believe, and we're back with another BTC Tech Tip.
Yeah, I got a call saying BTC is putting fiber in my neighborhood, but I don't even know what fiber is.
Fiber is the latest data transfer technology, providing high-speed internet connection at up to 1,000 megabits per second. With fiber to the home, customers can experience great bandwidth and reliability with their internet connection. And that bandwidth allows for services like smart home systems, Flow TV, and even home office internet.
How much will it cost to install?
Installing fiber has no cost to you if you're an existing BTC fixed line customer. However, if you are a brand new BTC customer, the installation cost is $150. And get this, having a fiber line connected to your home actually increases the value of your property.
Wow, now that makes it worth it.
And there you have another BTC Tech Tip. See you next time.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Land reform is high on the government's agenda, and government is on course to begin an ambitious housing program in the next few months. That from Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis, who says more and more Bahamians are hoping to own a piece of the rock. He says the initiative will also include residents on the Family Islands.
Unfortunately, the average home today may cost anywhere from $180,000 and up. That's very cost prohibitive to the average Bahamian, and therefore we're introducing a program. We would hope that we would have lots available right after the new budget, May, June, and those lots would be sold with all the infrastructure amenities attached to it. And I'm more excited about such a program in the Family Islands because you would allow Bahamians to buy properties for bed and breakfast facility. The eco hotels are where we're going within the Family Islands, and you don't want to find ourselves 15, 20 years from today where all the second homeowners are foreign nationals and then they're renting or leasing them out as a part of a hotel pool.
Prime Minister Minnis promises that the homeowners plan will offer value for money.
Those lots would be sold with all the infrastructure amenities attached to it, and it'd be sold at very, very low price. The only thing I can say that they'd be, I don't want to give the exact cost, but to give you a ballpark figure, I can say that they'd definitely be less than $30,000. So if you can purchase a lot at that price and construct your home duty-free, you can, and you remove all of the second payment and the possible corruption, etc., you would be able to construct your home at a very low price, because remember, the average lot today may cost $100,000 or more. So that's automatically a $70,000 savings. When you're constructing your home, you're paying duty. You're talking about 30 to 50% duty on various things. So that's another at least $60,000 to $80,000 savings. So you're talking about being allowed to save at least a minimum of $120,000.
2 men and 1 woman appeared before the magistrate's court today, charged with possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply. One of the men pleaded guilty. 23-year-old Ilano Noel of Market Street took the rap, while 41-year-old Kenneth Monker of Smith's Lane and 21-year-old Hendira Roll of Ragged Island Street pleaded not guilty. According to reports, they were found in possession of suspected marijuana on Tuesday. Noel was convicted and sentenced to 18 months, while Monker and Roll have been remanded to the Department of Corrections. Attorney Jumo Campbell represented Noel and Roll. Human rights advocates and groups for years have complained about alleged abuses by immigration authorities. Now the department has utilized the gift of new equipment that should help them in their work. Vaughn Albury reports.
2018, a year of change in the way the Immigration Department carries out its duties. The upgrades include cutting-edge technology. Tech Advance Company donated 4 body cameras, 8 I-303 radios, and 1 dash cam to the Director of Immigration. With so much criticism leveled at immigration officers on their operation tactics, Ronnie Ferguson of Tech Advance believes the donated equipment is timely.
To help in the level of transparency when the immigration officers are coming into contact with the general public. So we just want to make sure that there's not just one side of a picture being painted, but there's both sides of the fence being shown.
Ferguson touts the capabilities of the body cams.
With the body cams that the officers are going to be using comes an array of features. They have a night vision feature, they have a GPS tracking feature, 1080p camera, high def. They get 12 hours of recording on them.
Can they erase it?
No, it's tamper-proof.
Immigration Director Clarence Russell believes the radios will aid in the fight against illegal immigration.
The actual equipment, the two-way radios, can actually reach as far as the Turks and Caicos, or our good brothers in Haiti, and throughout the entire hemisphere. I think that is significant in what we do. We have to reach out so that we can be prepared, not after persons have landed, but in advance of their coming to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
The Grand Bahama native says the Immigration Department will roll out another initiative to deal with repatriated migrants caught repeatedly.
Very soon, you will also see another step that we are going to take with regard to processing of persons who would come into our custody, so that if and when there is another landing, repetitively of the same persons, there will be a database to identify whom these repeat offenders are so that we can take the necessary steps to prosecute them to the full extent of the law.
The Director of Immigration stresses that the Immigration Department will carry out its duties humanely. Reporting from the Immigration Department, I am Vaughn Albury, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Vaughn. The challenging drainage and road issues in Pinewood Gardens getting some attention. Teams from the Ministry of Public Works are now working in the area, seeking to correct those lingering concerns which plague residents. Area Member of Parliament Reuben Ramming spoke to the new approach to that problem.
What we see going on here is one of the initiatives is not just simply paving, because paving in Pinewood had been a double-edged sword. In our on-the-ground, door-to-door, road, street-by-street assessment, we began to realize that the roads weren't drain-friendly. And so we spoke with the senior officials and we brought them in and we showed them video footage and everything else, where in times of heavy rain, where we do have thirsty drains, the water, the way the roads were paved was not conducive to the flow of water to the drain. We've had effects that I call damming, meaning that the placement of speed bumps and the nature held the water back from drains. And so we wanted Pinewood to be more efficient. So what you're seeing here is not just going to be simply paving, it's going to be paving under that new model as well.
Ramming says several other community concerns are also being dealt with in Pinewood Gardens.
We submitted plans for refurbishment of all of our parks, every street, every sign, every corner, hazards, for vector mitigation, and it's all documented. We've been pushing heavily, especially with Public Works, and you've heard some announcements already as related to the drain mitigation that will be going on, because we want to get ahead of the rainy season. We're not responsible for catastrophe. We're responsible for one question: did we do our best? And we ensure that things are afoot. And so we're glad that this is starting now. This will inconvenience people on Willow Street here for about a week, but it's well worth it. So we're glad of what is going to happen here in Pinewood.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm C.S. Scatterly. The 16-room Pineville motel on North Andros boasts an average of a 75% occupancy rate year-round and is always full on the weekends. Owner Eugene Campbell says he started the property 15 years ago with one goal in mind: to be different. In other business news, tomorrow the Nassau Institute will be presenting its Freedom Award for Entrepreneurship during this year's Joan Thompson Memorial Freedom Lecture, which is set for the British Colonial Hilton. This year's nominees are Wendell Jones from Jones Communications, Peter Bates from the Sign Man, and Michael Simonet of the Simonet Marketing Group. The Nassau Institute is a free market think tank that was formed in 1995 primarily to distribute the Freeman magazine. More recently, it has focused on sponsoring student lecture series in collaboration with the University of the Bahamas, but continues to bring internationally renowned economists to Bahamian audiences. And in international news, Rolls-Royce has officially announced the name of its new large hatchback vehicle that will be designed to travel off-road as well as on pavement. It will be called the Cullinan. But Rolls-Royce would prefer that you don't call it an SUV. Rolls-Royce refers to it simply as a high-sided car. The Cullinan is named after the largest flawless diamond ever found. The Cullinan name is not entirely new for this vehicle, as it has been called Project Cullinan since shortly after its development was announced 3 years ago. This has been your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm C.S. Scatterly.
Know how you can save more money, save more time, earn more interest, and have more for the future? The solution is an account from Fidelity Bank. With our ASU Savings, fixed deposits, and preferred client program, you can get free financial advice from our team of experts, competitive interest rates, and free online banking for simple and safe banking anytime, anywhere. Open a fixed deposit or savings account with Fidelity by visiting a branch today. Get into the rhythm of saving with Fidelity. Fidelity, we're good for you.
About perhaps 4 or 5 months ago now, I started using Alive to stream my shows. And that's because I wanted to expose my show to a wider audience. And hey, streaming is where it's at. To the point now that it's become so successful. Here it is, right here. Here's my Alive phone. And I am currently streaming live. And people are now watching from several states in the United States. I have viewers as far away as Abu Dhabi. I have viewers in Italy. I have viewers in Canada, and of course the United States, and certainly viewers right here in the Bahamas. It has been the most wonderful experience. Alive has been so incredible these 5 months. It's totally allowed me to expand my brand and expand the reach of the conversation that I can't stream live with no other provider. And so I believe in best.
My wife is all about family and saving money, and at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets, she can feed the family while saving money. A happy wife indeed. Hunt's Barbecue Sauce is 18-ounce bottle, 2 for $3. Chicken leg quarters, 89 cents per pound for the 10-pound bag. Libby's corn or sliced beets, 15-ounce can, 99 cents. Kellogg's Corn Flakes, 24-ounce box, $3.99. Sweet strawberries, 1-pound size, 2 for $5. Sunny Delight Smooth or Tangy, 64-ounce bottle, $1.99. Shop where the savers shop. Super Value and Quality Super.
The highly anticipated blockbuster movie Black Panther is set to hit theaters worldwide this weekend, but thanks to a local fraternity, moviegoers here in the Bahamas are in for a treat. Right now, members of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity are enjoying a special screening of the film at Galleria Cinemas. The movie lines up with the fraternity's belief, and that's what will make the upcoming event special. Now, joining us live in studio is Jason Elwood Hanna, a stuntman for Black Panther. Welcome to the Bahamas tonight, Mr. Hanna.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, my name is Jason Elwood Hanna. I'm a Bahamian stunt performer and an actor that works with the Screen Actors Guild out of the United States. I had a pleasure of working on Black Panther, Avengers 3 Infinity War, and Avengers 4 Infinity War Part 2. You can see me right now in Cargo, Kareem Mortimer's Cargo. I was featured in a role there. And yeah, well, my story kind of begins about 15 years now. 15 years training in the martial arts. First started with the RC ramming. And yeah, I kind of just moved to the United States and Canada, trained for years. And after, you know, a very slow process, got my way into some pretty big budget feature films, yeah.
Talk to me a little bit more about your martial arts career.
Oh, my martial arts career, well, yeah, like I said, it expands about 15 years now. I've done jiu-jitsu for about 6 years. That led to other forms of movement such as ninjutsu at Sensei Arn Roll. These are all Bahamian martial artists. And I cross-trained in LA with Mike Chatt, XMA headquarters. He's a premier stunt coordinator and fight coordinator for some of the biggest names in Hollywood right now. Yeah, I've done gymnastics. You know, the amount of things that you need to become a stunt coordinator and stunt performer is vast. You know, from precision driving to diving, it's just a whole new world of excitement.
And any advice you want to give to, I guess, Bahamians and persons in general who want to pursue a career in the arts?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think when I first started this, there were a lot of people that were like, you know, you're a Bahamian. What are you thinking? You know, you won't be able to working in Hollywood, and you won't do all these different things that you see on TV every day. But I want to tell everyone that it is possible. I've seen it and I've lived it, and it requires a plan. It requires a step-by-step plan. You have to figure out your next move before you do it. A lot of people just rush in, they don't have a plan, and they burn out very quickly. So my biggest advice to anyone who wants to get into the industry, practice, experience, learn, listen, and then apply.
Tell us a little bit more about the movie Black Panther.
Oh yes, it's gonna be a blast, an absolute blast. The Black Panther is a Marvel superhero. It is based out of a fictional country in Africa called Wakanda. And in this country, we will say the rest of the world has never touched it. It's unique. It's a paradise. It was allowed to flourish, and because of it, it's become one of the richest nations in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's one of the biggest movies of the year. I mean, it has sold several tickets, way beyond its expectation. I was lucky enough to see one of the early premieres and screenings. Absolutely excellent. It touches on so many different political and just cultural issues that face black people around the world, really. And I would advise everyone to see it. It's just such an empowering film. I believe the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity is having a screening tomorrow. I think you can pick those up at Galleria and Quality Home Center, I believe. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's just a blast. You can follow me on Facebook as well, or Instagram, to find out more information. That's at Jason Elwood Hanna.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hanna, for joining us here on the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. 1 out of every 10 children born here in the Bahamas are diagnosed with heart complications and need a life-altering surgery just to survive. Well, in this Matters of the Heart series, a young mother talks about her son's heart diagnosis, surgery, and his road to recovery.
As they explained it, I understand that he was going to be fine.
Becoming a mother for a second time was one of the greatest moments for 26-year-old Darenika Nixon. But the news that her son, 9-month-old Tayshawn Barr, was born with Down syndrome, which led to a hole in his heart, caught her and her family by surprise.
The first reaction that came to me, I just started crying. I was sitting next to my mother, my aunt, and his father. He just got up and walked off to cry. I couldn't even speak. I didn't know what was going on, but as Dr. Lightburn explained to me that because he had trimethyl 21, it's more reasonable for him to have the hole in his heart, for him to be missing those chambers, those ventricles. I didn't know what to do.
The next step was to get that complex surgery that little Tayshawn needed to save his life. Nixon says the surgery cost $75,000, money she said she simply did not have.
Dr. Lightburn told us to go Cable Beach. You go straight to the Heart Foundation. You talk to Miss Linda LaFleur. As soon as we came out of NICU, we just drove straight to her. I didn't know. That's the only thing that was on my mind, just getting him better and speaking to Miss Linda LaFleur. I sat down, I talked to her, and she told me that do not cry, everything was going to be fine, we're going to deal with it. She said, we're going to sell some tickets for the Heart Foundation, we're going to get some sponsors, your baby's going to be just fine.
Like Tayshawn, doctors say that there are thousands of babies born with holes in their hearts or heart complications here in the Bahamas. And while the surgery on October 10th last year was a successful one, Daronika says her faith kept her strong.
They said we made it our first cut into him at 9 a.m. I said, okay, I just broke down crying, and there she sat there, she held my hand, and they came back at 5 o'clock, say he was fine. We saw him at 6 o'clock. After we saw him, we spent the night with him, 2 a.m. They said, okay, Miss Nixon, your son's not breathing on his own. They took him back and they made another cut into him. I just broke down crying again. We were there for a month, but as you can see, he's happy and I couldn't ask for nothing more.
And during Tayshawn's visit to pediatric cardiologist Dr. Jerome Lightburn's office, I too took one for the team and had my heart checked out. Everything turned out fine, but in Tayshawn's case, Daronika says his condition is almost normal.
Dr. Lightburn, the end of last month, Dr. Lightburn said, well, Miss Nixon, you want the good news? He said, I don't see anything on this monitor for Tayshawn. All the AVs, he said, and there's no leakage. He's perfectly fine. We're just working on getting him off the medication, getting him walking and therapy and moving forward.
Two great talents coming together this Valentine's Day with one goal in mind, spreading love throughout this country. The formula? A splash of art, the perfect pitch, and an ad in a lifelong friendship. The results are simply magical. Sieska Adderley tells us all about it in tonight's Heart to Heart.
Just when I had thought I had seen and heard all of the ways to show your loved ones how much they mean to you today, I discovered something else. Jamal Rule, the celebrity artist, and singer-songwriter Julian Believe Thompson have teamed up to bring their Love Week project. This entitles you to a portrait from Jamal and a singogram from Julian. The talented duo, who are also really good friends, both believe that through this collaboration, they've been able to create an experience that'll last a lifetime.
Every day, a different face presents a different challenge, and so the timing varies. But this has been challenging for me, and I like a challenge to sometimes have it completed within a short space of time to create that wow factor.
And there are a lot of logistics that go into what we do and how we do it.
When you hang that portrait on the wall, that's something that could last for generations. Whenever you see that portrait, you could remember that moment that he came into the restaurant, he sang me, bought me flowers. And I think that's something that's very special and unique.
Both Roll and Thompson say they're surprised at how well Bahamians have been receiving them, especially since they started out by testing the idea. The project has since taken them throughout New Providence and even Grand Bahama. Now I've seen videos of them in action, but I had to get a taste of this magic for myself. So you know I had to ask. So Julian, give me a little sneak peek of what the ladies you've sung to got.
I found love in you, and I hope you love me too. You know?
Oh,
Never have I felt that I can be all that you need. And I'ma keep on singing this song on ZNS TV.
Perfect.
Yeah, man, but it's just about having fun,
Yeah.
man. It's about having fun, enjoying life. We're enjoying this moment, this season that we're in.
That was only a tease, and I was smiling from ear to ear. So I could only imagine being serenaded while receiving my very own celebrity artist portrait. I would be in heaven. So for those of you who have been on the receiving end, I know you felt the love. But not to worry, ladies, Valentine's Day may be almost over, but the duo promised to be back as this is the first of many collaborations to come. Sieska Adderley, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Sieska. Stay close. Sports and Family Island weather are up next. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan. And the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
Panther, supporting the greatest expression of Bahamian culture. More than one flavor, still one family.
Where can you find amazing selections of tiles from around the world? Exquisite medallions, pool mosaics, all colorful, bright and bold. They got granite countertop for the kitchen, elegant vanity zincs for the bathroom, tile care and ruby too. Everything you need and more at the Tile King. The Tile King, located 69 Wolf Road. For more information, call 326-TILE or 326-5464.
The performance speaks for itself. Pennzoil Synthetics, made from natural gas. Make the switch.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
And it's time now for a check on temperatures around our family islands. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us live in studio with the latest. Good evening, Basil, and happy Valentine's Day to you.
Happy Valentine's Day to you as well. And right now we're going to take a look at temperatures around the family of islands, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. It is 77 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Greentoll, Key and Abaco, also Marshall, Abaco at 77. In the Berry Islands, 77 as well. Allenstown, Bimini, another 77. Here in the capital, 78 degrees. Picking up more 77s in Harbor Island, Eleuthera, Roxanne, Eleuthera. Stanley Key at 78 degrees. Also Kemp Space, St. Andrews, Fresh Creek, and Central Andrews at 78 degrees. In San Salvador and Rum Key, it is 76. Georgetown Exuma, 77 degrees. In Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, 78. Ragged Island also reporting 78 degrees. Atkins and Betsy Bay Magona at 77. Matthewtown in Agua, 79 degrees. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 78 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Pink Setter. In the northwestern islands, your winds are going to be out of the east, 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide took place at 7:07 this evening. In the central and southeastern islands, caution flags are up, easterly winds as well, 15 to 20 knots, and the wave heights at 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. Hence, those caution flags are up. Taking you into tomorrow, winds unchanged. They remain out of the east at 12 to 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights holding at 2 to 4 feet. High tide 7:29 in the morning. Low tide at 1:53 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands, winds coming down just a tad, but we'll keep the caution flags up for you. 12 to 18 knots will be the speeds, and the wave heights 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. And as we go into Friday, easterly winds once again at 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide 8:06 in the morning, low tide at 2:28 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands on Friday, winds easterly 12 to 18 knots, your wave heights 3 to 6 with a moderate chop. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast, and your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Jolly gray, your boat needed bailing out. Get a sailorman sound. Jolly gray, your boat needed bailing out. Get a sailorman sound. If you wanna go to heaven, put the radar on your head, boy. That's a sailorman sound.
That's going to do it for your travel forecast, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast coming up in about 10.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. A cataract is a painless clouding of the natural internal lenses of the eyes. This clouding often blocks light, making it difficult to see clearly. Most cataracts develop slowly, and initially they don't disturb your vision. Over time, however, cataracts will eventually interfere with your eyesight and may even lead to blindness. In fact, the condition has been proven to be responsible for 51% of the world's blindness, a percentage which represents 20 million people worldwide. While the exact cause of the condition is unknown, cataracts have been heavily related to aging. Even though people who are affected by cataracts tend to be older adults, children may also be born with the condition and can develop it after suffering inflammation or eye injuries. There are also various risk factors such as inflammation in the eye, hereditary influences, and diseases like diabetes. Symptoms of cataracts include clouded, blurred, or dim vision, difficulty with vision at night, sensitivity to light and glare, seeing halos around lights, frequent changes in eyeglasses or contact lenses prescription, fading or yellowing of colors, double vision in a single eye. If you notice any sudden or persistent changes in your vision, make an appointment to see your doctor right away. Cataracts are detected through eye exams, which include a visual acuity test and a dilated eye exam. Although cataracts are relatively easy to treat, they cannot be treated unless they are found. This is why taking an annual eye exam is so important. If you suffer from psoriasis, see your doctor to help you control the disease. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan, or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
The
wait is over. The Music Project is here. Experience the excitement, creativity, and talent from 13 of the nation's top high school pop bands. Saturday, February 17th, 2018, 2 p.m. at the Botanical Garden. Tickets available at Airbrush Junkies, Mario's Bowling, and all participating schools. Adults 15, students 10 in advance, more at the door. Children under 5 are free. Gates open at 2 p.m. That's the Music Project. Are you ready?
Battery and tire specialists want to improve your ride with their new wheel alignment services. Rough roads can make the steering wheel shimmy, your car drift sideways, and even make you skid in wet weather. Professional wheel alignment extends the life of your tires, prevents expensive repairs, and saves you money on gas. Battery and Tire, 7 Terrace, Centerville, 325-0547. Battery and Tire Specialist. We keep you moving.
This Valentine, it's deja vu for your most beautiful you. Deja vu for your hair. 10% off live. 20% off Indian Remy, 25% off Sumatra Malaysian Remy, and 22-inch Body Wave Soprano Remy. Deja Vu for your skin. 3 for $10. Top Gel, Skinbo Cream and Gel, Natural Bright Cream and Gel, and more. We've even got a 50% off basket for a most beautiful you. Deja Vu. 2 locations, Market Street, 356-6981, and Carmichael Road, 698-2086.
The wait is over. The Music Project is here. Experience the excitement, creativity, and talent from 13 of the nation's top high school pop bands. Saturday, February 17th, 2018, 2 p.m. at the Botanical Garden. Tickets available at Airbrush Junkies, Mario's Bowling, and all participating schools. Adults 15, students 10 in advance, more at the door. Children under 5 are free. Gates open at 2 p.m. That's the Music Project. Are you ready?
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Kelsey Johnson. Welcome to Sports Wednesday. The St. Augustine's College Big Red Machine is out front at the end of day 1. They've chugged ahead to take the lead in 10 of the 12 divisions contested at the BAISS Track and Field Championships. They are holding on to a 46-point lead over Queens College Comets. The Big Red Machine has a one-day total of 459.50 points. Queens College sits in second with 413.50 points. St. John's College has a one-day total of 132 points. The St. Anne's Blue Waves are currently in fourth with 116 points. Temple Christian holds down the fifth spot with 69.50 points, and Nassau Christian Academy is sixth with 60 points. If you don't have time to go in and purchase your tickets for the Carifta Track and Field Championships, there's no need to panic. In this report, our Charles Fisher tells us that you can log on and get your tickets as well as the schedule for the championship games.
Carifta 2018 website is up and running for all the info you will need on the games. Software developer and president of Integrated Business Solutions, Donovan Moxley, with that task.
We wanted a site that was all-encompassing, it was exciting, and we wanted to make sure that we were able to display all the content that was available from past Carifta games as well as everything associated with promoting the games. So what we did was we created a responsive design site, meaning that you can view the design in a mobile device or on a normal computer screen, and you can see all of the elements of the design right there for you. It's very, very easy to access. And so from our perspective, we knew that we wanted to showcase the games, so we put in a very, very large slider window. We knew we wanted to do e-commerce or integration with ticket sales, and so ticket sales are available as well. We're linked to ticket function. Also merchandising, that's also available.
The site, very user-friendly.
The way a site like this is structured is that what you want to do is make sure you have sliders that actually capture attention. So in this case here, we're really talking about the athletes, talking about the offers. So a slider up front is fairly standard in terms of how you structure things, if you will, as well. The other thing also is having the countdown timer, if you will, specific to the event. So again, we're creating a sense of urgency as part of the event as well, so everybody understands exactly when it's coming up and what needs to be done in order to get ready for the Carifta Games.
Making use of the Bahamian colors brings an added attraction to the site.
We took a cue from the logo design as well as the pageantry design for the site as well, and obviously the national colors for the Bahamas also. So everything that we've done actually plays on those colors. So we want to make the site appealing, we want to make the site interesting, and the way we set it up too as well with the videos that are integrated, we also want to make it where it's very informative. So the plan is that as certain events occur, as certain video footage is available, we then get that footage and we upload it to the website, so that's available as well. So we want this site to be sort of just-in-time information. So whether you're at the stadium or whether you can't make it, you want to understand what's going on your phone, the website will be a perfect resource for that.
44 days and counting to the biggest sporting event on our shores this year. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
Rolling out the red carpet just minutes before pulling out the brooms for a clean sweep was the Donald Davis Royals Junior Boys squad. The team, which was undefeated on the season, won their third straight championship title in the GSSA League on Tuesday. They defeated the CH Reef Raptors 44-36.
I give God thanks and praise for giving me the grace to be a basketball coach. I thank God for my principal, all of the parents that put these boys in my care. I thank God for my wife who allowed me to do these boys so much time in practice. You know, it's no rest for the weary. I start practice on Saturday for the returning guys. We're going to go through the whole Easter and through the summer playing tournaments, camps, and preparing. For me, this is a way of life.
All it is pretty much just working on them simple mistakes, you know what I mean? And that's carried over to next year. A lot of them still coming back, so all we got to do is continue to practice. You know, practice make perfect, so that's all we got to do and we'll be okay.
When you put this team together this year, did you think they were going to make it this far?
We set goals at the beginning. We said that we want to make playoffs, and once we get that, we'll make it the championship.
A free throw would be the deciding shot in the senior boys game between CC Speeding Cobras and Anatole Rogers. With 0.2 seconds remaining in the game, Kevin Thompson stepped to the free throw line in hopes of forcing an overtime. He connected on the first shot, but missed the second. The Cobras would go on to win the game 62-61.
From day one, we felt that we were one of the better teams in New Providence. Yeah, we had a short season, we slipped down 1 or 2, but we knew that these guys, once they stay focused, we had been fine. I'm not surprised at the win. We came in this game, and tonight when we came to the game, we said, this is going to be a tough one, but we're not going to game 3. And my boys make sure that happened.
I give God thanks when we won, and I give him thanks when we lose. That game here, if you were in the gym, you paid your money, you got your money's worth. My guys played excellent. They played a very good team. They coached by Mario. He's an excellent coach, and we gave it our best. I could sleep well tonight knowing they gave it everything they had to win the game. We had a 10th grader on the free throw line, and he missed a big free throw. If there's anything that will come out of this positively, is that next year and the year after, he will be ready for that situation. Notwithstanding, we are in the season of basketball. Hugh Campbell is coming up. Nationals is coming up. We punched our ticket to go to Nationals. And so CC Sweden won the championship in GSSA. We're looking forward to Hugh Campbell and also Nationals.
For the first time in a very long time, the HO Nash Lions will be playing a decisive game. The Lions, who are the defending champions in the Junior Girls Division, were defeated by T.A. Thompson on Tuesday, 29-22.
The game plan is the same. We're going to go back. We're going to work on some things too that we missed today. And so I guess it's going to be a dogfight on Thursday. Knowing that she trained me, it proves that she done a good job.
Doris Johnson Marlin Senior Girls came back and forced a third and decisive game with a 37-24 win over CB Bethel.
You know, when you have an undefeated season and then you come out flat, those are two things that don't work together. And so we didn't really sleep last night. We really sweat last night. And so we put some work in this morning and executed the game plan with excellence today. We recognize that we have strengths on this team. We have really good players. But, you know, when you have really good players, they tend to be really stubborn at times and they want their own way. But they recognize that an individual could win a game, but a team win championships. So we decided to come together.
When we playing, they just, two players always be on me, and it's always be me the one who always gotta get foul. But I just have to be more aggressive and do what my coach say.
Play continued in the New Providence Basketball Association over at the Donald Davis Gym last night. Soaring above the competition was the Breezes High Flyers, who defeated the Triple K Stampers 82-73. In the feature game saw the JD Seafood Sharkers zap the Leno Regulators 74-67. The number 2 Michigan State Spartans pounded Minnesota 89-57. Lou Rawls' Tum Tum Nan finished with 3 points and 3 assists. Buddy Hield scored 8 points in the 114-108 Sacramento Kings win over the Dallas Mavericks last night. Hield and crew will be back on court tonight playing fellow son of the soil Eric Gordon and the Houston Rockets. The Rockets were also on the court on Tuesday night. They beat the Minnesota Timberwolves 131-126. Gordon posted 13 points in the win. That's all the time we have for sports. I'm Kelsey Johnson.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
I plan right for the future.
I plan right for my peace of mind.
I plan right for my grandchildren.
I plan right because it's worth it.
The Family Guardian Plan Right policy is designed for persons aged 15 to 85. It requires no HIV testing or medical exam. Just answer 3 medical questions. Premiums and coverage never change. An accidental death benefit is included with no additional charge. Protect your loved one with the Family Guardian Plan Right policy.
Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. All for you at the British Colonial Hilton. Join us for an unforgettable experience as we present the Muna Love Affair, Sunday, February 18th at 4 p.m. at the British Colonial Hilton. Reserve your tickets today at mlabahamas.eventbrite.com.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, that area of high pressure has collapsed across the northwest Bahamas, resulting in the winds decreasing and also the seas a bit on the flat sides, but still caution flags up in the central and southeastern islands, and that will continue right into the weekend. Tonight we're going in for partly cloudy conditions, still on the mild side, with your low temperature getting down to a comfortable 71 degrees. And tomorrow it's going to be mostly sunny, warm but still nice. High temperature 83 degrees. Your extended weather forecast over the next 7 days, keeping you in the low 80s right through Sunday. Things start to warm up a bit in the early part of next week, but what we can assure you is going to have an abundance of sunshine heading into the weekend, and those winds are going to be cooperative for those who want to enjoy the sea conditions, and the winds again will start picking up sometime on late Sunday heading into the early part of next week.
Thank you so much, Basil. And immediately following this newscast, you can tune into the Read Factor. And with that, we end the Bahamas Tonight, the national report for all of us here at ZNS. I'm LaDawn Davis. Make it a great evening, everyone.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Some say marital rape isn't real, while others say they know the harsh effects it has on spouses. Well, we're taking a closer look at marital rape in this edition